Oh, oh. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
No. Okay, God.
Look.
Nothing.
Jesus.
Jesus Christ.
Two friends were hiking along a narrow mountain ridge when one of them started recording. Then, out of nowhere, something unexpected happened.
Jesus.
One of the hikers lost his footing and almost slipped off the edge. Luckily, he caught himself just in time. One wrong step and it could have ended much worse. A man and his wife live in a home near the edge of a thick forest in the US. They moved there about 6 months ago to get away from city life and enjoy some quiet. At first, everything was peaceful, and they enjoyed the normal sounds of the forest at night. After a while, though, they started hearing something unusual, a sound that did not match any animal they knew. It would begin around midnight and always came from the same spot along the tree line behind their house. They initially ignored it, assuming it was just wildlife, but one night, the noise became impossible to tune out. Annoyed and curious, the man picks up his flashlight and phone and steps outside to investigate.
What the hands them in, babe. Look at that. Man, lost it. There's the camera. What the is that? Oh nah.
As he shines his flashlight along the tree line, he notices something moving in the darkness. Whatever it is shifts around, then suddenly stands up, causing the man to run back inside. In the original footage, it is hard to see clearly, but after enhancing the video, it becomes obvious that someone or something is there. After this moment, it was never seen again. The person who uploaded the video says they have no idea what it was. What do you think it could be? Police in White Settlement are searching for two people accused of trying to steal an ATM using a stolen SUV. Security footage shows the vehicle pulling into a 7-Eleven parking lot while the store was still open. One masked suspect rushed inside, smashed through the glass entrance, and attached a metal hook to the ATM while the vehicle outside attempted to pull it free.
Pretty shocking. It just seemed really violent. Somebody could have been seriously injured.
The force of the attempt caused shelves to shake and merchandise to fly across the store. After several tries, the ATM was finally yanked loose, but as the suspect sped away toward E30, the chain snapped and the ATM was flung onto the roadway.
It sends kind of shockwaves to the community, sends fear. When they went flying down towards I-30, the chain broke, so the ATM went flying.
The suspects escaped before police arrived. Authorities say the ATM could have contained up to $100,000.
Even if you're friends with these two guys, turn them in.
The SUV was later found abandoned in Fort Worth and was confirmed stolen from Dallas. No one was hurt, but police say the incident was extremely dangerous and has left the community shaken.
At this time of the year, you see that level of desperation, and that's what makes it dangerous.
Investigators believe the same suspects may be linked to other ATM thefts across North Texas and could face multiple felony charges. A couple living deep in the woods uses several security cameras around their property to keep watch at night. Most of the time, the footage is boring, just trees moving in the wind or an animal passing by. But one night around 8 p.m., something showed up on their live feed that changed everything.
Okay, so alarms are going off and the rooster's going nuts. We caught some coyotes in the backyard. What is that?
Probably that coyote.
Right there. What the heck?
Is that that coyote?
No.
That's not a coyote. That's
Where's the dog?
Wow.
Well, you better go now. I don't know. The rooster's not too happy. Where's the dog? There's the dog. Why is she in her freaking pen? What the? Oh my God. Okay, so it came back. What the hell?
There's Lucy right there.
Yeah, but you see where it's standing?
Yeah, it's looking in the window at you.
It's at our window. What?
It's a good way to get shot.
And the dog's just staring.
So why is the damn dog not barking?
Oh my God.
What is that?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. What? All right, go,
A humanoid figure suddenly burst into view. At first, it moved on all fours, fast and unnatural, almost animal-like. Then it slowly stood up. Once upright, it walked through the woods step by step, getting closer and closer to the house until it reached the worst possible spot, right outside their window. Just as suddenly, the figure turned and sprinted back into the trees, disappearing into the darkness without a sound. What makes it even more unsettling is not just what they saw, but how calm the couple stayed the entire time. So what do you think it was? A man and his partner started dealing with something disturbing inside their home. For days, they kept returning to find their living room and kitchen completely messed up. Pillows were thrown around, cabinets left open, and small items knocked from where they belong. At one point, a neatly folded stack of laundry was spread across the hallway, as if someone had walked straight through it. One of them blamed the cat at first, but it did not make sense. The cat could not have caused that level of disruption. To settle it, they set up cameras, and what those cameras recorded changed everything. The footage proves one thing clearly: the cat is innocent, but it also reveals something far more disturbing. There is another presence inside the house, one they never invited and do not understand. After seeing the footage, their concern shifts from who is causing it to what they might be living with. Watch closely and see if you notice what they did. After a second clip was shared, viewers in the comments started forming their own theories. Many said the movement felt like a child's spirit. What made it even more unsettling was that the activity did not stop when night fell. Watch this. How do you explain a chair slowly rocking on its own in the middle of the night, as if someone were sitting in it and gently pushing off the floor? That detail changed everything. Some viewers believe nighttime activity like this means the presence has grown comfortable. Others think the chair is connected to the mess seen during the day, pointing to the same unseen force behind both. If it is a child spirit, some believe it may not even realize it is causing fear, just playing and exploring. Until more updates come out and the couple understands what they are dealing with, the case remains unsolved. This video clip reveals a disturbing scene inside a graveyard, showing open graves and scattered bones. Two people discuss a troubling pattern of locals raiding graves for items used in rituals. Graves are left exposed, bones removed, and dumped in bags. It raises disturbing questions about why anyone would rob graves, steal human remains, and violate a sacred resting place for such purposes. The desperation behind it is hard to comprehend, making the footage deeply unsettling. In this clip, a man is jolted awake by a strange sound while spending the night at his aunt's old house. What he ends up recording is far more unsettling than he expected. The video was shared about 9 months ago, and he claims odd things happened all night, with this moment being the most disturbing.
Still hearing voices. Jesus Christ! I hear knocking again. Out of here. Nope.
Suddenly, a child's voice can be heard very close to the camera.
Out of here. Nope.
He bolts out of the room and runs straight to his car. Not much is known beyond this short clip, which only adds to how unsettling it is. Even on its own, the footage is chilling. TikTok user MyHouseIsHaunted.777 shared a clip that has seriously unsettled viewers. She believes her home is haunted, and one night while relaxing inside, she heard a strange noise coming from another part of the house. Already feeling on edge and wanting proof of whatever was happening, she grabbed her phone and started recording.
Door just keeps opening by itself. Watch, here, look. Nobody. Nobody in this house. Nobody. Now watch. Look, let me close this door. Watch it. 3, 2. Oh, heck no. No. Okay, God. Look. Nothing. Dogs barking and everything.
She says the door kept opening on its own, so she shut it firmly, stepped back, and started recording. Moments later, the handle begins twisting, as if someone is trying to open it, not wobbling loosely. Her dog immediately starts barking and staring at the door, and then the door slowly opens by itself. She insists she was alone in the house, but the dog keeps barking at the empty doorway, leaving no clear explanation for what caused it. A woman named Marlene says she had been experiencing strange activity at her workplace for weeks, but on this day, it suddenly escalated. She starts recording after hearing random tapping sounds coming from inside the walls. Nothing that matched pipes, heating, or any mechanical system. As she films, the building's background music turns on by itself, then shuts off. Moments later, the overhead lights change on their own, dimming briefly before brightening again without warning.
Like, this is not a joke. Oh my God. And the music just stopped. Oh my God, literally no one. Oh my God. Literally nothing here. Like, nothing. Like, I don't know what the noise was about. But there's nothing here. Nothing. It's insane. Oh my God. Oh my God. It's off.
As Marlene walks down the hallway, the tapping follows her, then clear footsteps start, even though she is alone. She climbs a ladder into the attic to show what is there, but it is empty. When she comes back down, the light she left on is now off, with the tapping, footsteps, music turning on and off, and lights changing on their own. Marlene becomes convinced that something in the building does not want her there. Late one night, a man was walking along the edge of a dense forest when strange, unsettling sounds started drifting toward him. The sounds seemed to come from all around him, shifting and circling, yet nothing was visible. Was it just wildlife or something much more unsettling? A large number of crows were gathered outside a Walmart. Since a group of crows is called a murder, the video uses that term as wordplay before focusing on why so many birds were in one place. The team searched online to see if anything unusual had happened at the location, but found nothing. While there is likely a logical explanation, the reason for the gathering remains unclear. For several weeks around Halloween, a man noticed strange sounds coming from outside his door at night. At first, they were barely noticeable, but one night they became clear and unmistakable. It was no longer random. It was a woman's voice, and it did not sound natural. It came straight from the door, like something trying to trick him into opening it. He refused, convinced it was not human. Some think it could have been a mimic, something that copies voices to get inside. Others believe it may have just been a Halloween prank. Grace was home alone when she started recording a door inside her house after feeling like something was watching her from the hallway. The house was completely silent with no background noise at all, which only made the feeling worse. She keeps the camera steady and tries to joke to calm herself, but her voice sounds tense as she waits and listens, unsure if anything will happen.
Oh my god. What is happening? Can't move it again. Oh. Oh my god. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh my. Oh god. Can you close it, please? Okay.
Seconds later, the door slowly opens and then eases shut, causing Grace to gasp in shock. Still shaken, she nervously asks it to happen again while stepping back. This time, the door opens wider and more slowly, inching forward as if something unseen is pushing it. Pausing briefly before closing once again, there is no sound, no airflow, and no clear explanation. After the clip, Grace said she left immediately and avoided that hallway for the rest of the night, later admitting that what unsettled her most was realizing that it seemed to respond when she spoke. For about 6 months, Matthew Wayne kept noticing strange clicking sounds and faint whispers inside his house. At first, he brushed them off, but over time, they happened more often, especially whenever he felt uneasy. Believing the sounds might be linked to his fear, he decided to record them in hopes of finding answers. One night, as he was sitting and watching TV, the noises started up again.
Okay, so I'm just sat here. I said I were going to start trying to document it. I've been trying to watch this. Literally, myself, it's literally just the corner of the sofa. Trying to watch this, I swear to God I can hear like whispering. Right, I'm going to listen for a minute. I hate doing this. I don't know why I've decided to do this. So I'm just trying to watch TV. I swear I just keep hearing whispering. About 10 minutes ago, I just heard like 3 really loud. Right, okay. I'm gonna flip it because nobody wants to see my ugly face, and I'm gonna sit and listen, and I'm gonna be quiet. See if anyone else can hear it.
The recording picks up loud, breathing near him, along with soft, barely audible whispers. Shaken by what he captured, Matthew shared the video and said the strange activity has not stopped. For now, he is staying with family, and the source of the sounds is still a mystery. A video shared on the TikTok account Chadza_ G_353 gained over 1 million views. According to Chadza, his mother and aunt had just finished cleaning a building that used to be a mental asylum, and before leaving, his aunt recorded a short clip. At the time, nothing seemed unusual, and the building was silent and empty. But later, while watching it back, they noticed something disturbing hidden in the audio.
Hey, Sant. Oh, I'm just gonna get the car. Yeah.
When the clip is played back, dozens of eerie voices can be heard echoing through the audio, sounding like men, women, and even children. What makes it unsettling is that the woman filming heard nothing at the time and says the building was completely silent. Viewers asked whether the sounds were noticed in person or only on the recording, and Chadza confirmed they were only discovered later after turning the volume up. Where the voices came from, or what they belonged to, has never been explained. The paranormal couple behind the Paracurios TikTok account decided to investigate the infamous Conjuring house. Built in 1736, the home is known for its long history of reported hauntings. Many families who lived there described tragic events and intense paranormal activity, but it gained major attention after the Perron family moved in during the 1970s. With that history in mind, the couple went inside to investigate. They used the Estes method, with one person asking questions and the other repeating what came through a spirit box. Neither of them was ready for what happened next.
Do you want me to read one of these books to you, April? Over here?
Yes.
Which one? What's the name of the book?
Glorious.
Glorious. I'm gonna try and find that. You want me to turn this
Back.
back? If it's over here, I will this
Book.
Can you tell me where the Glorious book is?
Down.
Down? Is it on this row here?
No.
Is it on this row?
Yeah.
Can you tell me the name of the book again? Holy... No way. No. Okay, April, I got the book you've been talking about, the exact book, A Glorious Accident. Do you want me to read this to you?
To me.
Okay. Did your parents used to read you this book?
Book. Read.
Your mom used to read you this?
Yes. Memories.
It soon became obvious that something in the room was answering through the spirit box, and the responses felt intentional. They were clear and specific. One answer directed Clayton to a bookshelf, then to a specific shelf, and finally to a book titled Glorious. What makes this disturbing is that Bailey could not hear Clayton at any point. She was only repeating what the device gave her. Either it was an unbelievable coincidence, or something in the house knew exactly where that book was and wanted it discovered. A man named Nate began managing a cemetery around 4 years ago, and for a long time, nothing out of the ordinary happened. Then one day, while he was alone in the office, he heard a consistent knocking sound coming from outside the door.
Alright, so it's just me here at the cemetery office doing some paperwork, and I was hearing knocking on this door. So I just wanted to see if I can catch it again. That's all. No, it's not gonna happen. Nobody. This is locked. As you can see, it's locked. This one.
When Nate opened the door, no one was there, with no signs of movement or footsteps. After that, strange things began happening inside the office, and before long, Nate realized the activity did not stay there, but seemed to follow him home.
I'm hearing noises now at home, so I'm starting to think that maybe something from the cemetery followed me home. I thought I heard the cupboards moving. Then I thought my equipment out here, that heavy bag right there, sounded like it was being hit. But I wasn't sure. See if we can try to catch it, but it sounded like it was being hit. All right, so I just watched somebody walk into here. Those are locked. This is locked. Hello? So I cannot explain this, but I was filling up the mower with the fuel, and I was looking over here, and I was seeing the grass moving like somebody was walking through it. Now, I do have a grave over here from a burial a couple weeks ago. I want to see if I can catch it. It was like somebody was walking through here, or moving through here, like I saw the movement on the grass. What the?
Items began falling by themselves, and while working in the cemetery, Nate captured the sound of something heavy rushing toward him just out of sight. After that, the disturbances grew stronger. One night, he had a vivid dream where he woke up in bed as a shadowy figure entered the room and silently gestured for him to follow. Its form was impossible to clearly see, as if his vision would not focus. The figure led him through the house, stopped in the dining area, and pointed toward the basement door, signaling him to go down, before Nate suddenly woke up to a loud noise.
Instantly, there was this loud wake up. But when I woke up, I was standing in my dining room. I have never, ever had an issue with sleepwalking. Never in my life.
Except he was not in bed anymore. He was standing in the exact same place he had been in during the dream. Fully awake and shaken with his heart racing, Nate started recording, and that is when he captured this.
Guys, check it out. Something was peeking. Right out. From the basement. I wanted to see if we can catch it. The end of it. But it was like right by the bed. What the? This has been the third morning in a row. Like clockwork. I might have to look back, but it might be around the same times as well. I don't understand. There's nothing. And then I was hearing steps coming down those stairs, but there's nothing. Guys, guys. Maybe we can try to. What was that?
He did not catch the figure from the dream on camera, but he did record the sound of footsteps on the stairs, followed by disturbing whispers echoing through the house. Soon after, a broom suddenly fell over by itself, slamming onto the floor with no one around. This leaves one unsettling question. Did something follow Nate home from the cemetery, or had it been there all along, waiting for the right moment to reveal itself? What started as a normal camping trip quickly turned into a terrifying night. Late in the evening, a powerful storm hit the campsite without warning. The wind picked up fast, trees began snapping, and chaos followed. Huge trees crashed down, trapping 2 vehicles in a heavily wooded area with no clear way out. With almost no visibility and debris falling everywhere, the group had no choice but to stay inside their cars. One vehicle was badly damaged. The windshield frame bent, letting rain pour inside, and the rear window shattered and barely stayed in place. Cell service was weak, but they managed to reach family and emergency services. They were told help was on the way, though crews were delayed because roads were blocked by flooding and fallen trees. All they could do was wait. As the hours dragged on, exhaustion set in. They could hear chainsaws, sirens, and voices in the distance, but had no idea how close help really was. The storm would calm briefly, then return just as violently. Worried the windshield might give out, they moved to the back seats, surrounded by broken glass, debris, and soaked belongings. By early morning, the storm finally passed. Daylight revealed complete devastation. Trees were down everywhere, crushing tents, cars, and paths, leaving the forest unrecognizable. Emergency crews eventually reached them on foot, climbing over fallen logs and unstable ground. The group was carefully guided out, lifting their dogs over debris along the way. They were taken to a temporary shelter where medical teams, police, and the Red Cross helped with food, clothing, and rest. Later, investigators said the storm was likely caused by a tornado that tore through the area overnight. They lost their vehicles and most of their gear, but they were grateful to have survived. Early one morning, a man was walking through a graveyard to check the area before a funeral later that day. The cemetery was silent, with only headstones, trimmed grass, and a light breeze. As he walked between 2 rows of graves, he suddenly felt a sharp burning pain in his arm. When he lifted his sleeve, a fresh red scratch appeared as if it had just happened. There was no one around and nothing nearby that could have caused it. Shocked, he pulled out his phone and started recording to capture whatever might happen next.
So I'm here this morning just to check, the site for one of our funerals today. And I'm checking the site. Nothing around me besides graves. And I feel this burn on my arm. I don't know if you can see that, but pretty deep raised scratch. I don't know what the hell. So it's a Monday morning, start of a new week. Maybe it'll be a good week. I don't see anything out of place or odd in the garage. Didn't see any prints or anything like that. So, Jesus Christ! What the is that? Oh my.
The footage then cuts to the cemetery's small maintenance garage, where he goes to see if an animal or loose equipment could explain the scratch. Before he reaches the door, something slams hard into the metal shutters from inside, loud enough to echo across the graveyard. He jumps back and points the camera at the shaking panels, but nothing hits them again. The door stays shut, and the area remains completely still and empty. Between the sudden scratch and whatever struck the shutters, he becomes convinced something in the graveyard did not want him there, and he leaves immediately after the recording ends. A camper heard strange sounds outside his campsite and went to check it out, recording everything. That is when he spotted a pale, humanoid figure hiding in the bushes, moving carefully, as if trying not to be seen. The uploader claimed it was a Skinwalker in an area known for similar sightings, but never explained what happened next. Did it stay there? How did he get away? The unanswered questions left many viewers doubting what they saw. Nick had been attempting to make contact with what he thought was a presence in his house for several weeks, and at first, it seemed harmless. One night, that changed when the dream catcher above his bed began spinning on its own with no airflow. He tried to dismiss it, but then faint tapping noises started, and what disturbed him most was how they seemed to react when he spoke, leading him to start recording.
Hey guys, I've been trying to literally communicate with something. Like, there's no AC on, it's winter, this window's cracked, but this has been moving and I've been trying to communicate with whoever's here, but it's not really communicating back now, and I kept hearing tapping. But like, I just want to show you, like, this is a normal day in my house. Like, my mom is, these are the rooms, my mom is downstairs cooking dinner, and these rooms are a mess, I know. My mom is down here cooking dinner. So this is what I like experience on a day-to-day basis. Like, weird stuff like this just normally happens. And okay, I love that. What fell over in here now? I don't even know. Oh my god. And nothing. Oh, okay, that's weird. Is there anyone here that can give me a sign?
The footage shows the dream catcher continuing to spin even though the room is still and the window is closed. Nick steps out briefly and returns, but it never stops. Soon after, a fast scurrying sound comes from the bathroom, yet nothing is there when he checks. He asks for a clear sign, and moments later, an object suddenly drops beside him. In the next clip, as Nick explains how the tapping seems to respond when he speaks, another sharp tap answers back, closer this time, leaving him visibly shaken as he moves further into the house.
Keep hearing tapping. These walls are hollow. Whoa! Whoa! Okay. Aunt, where are you?
I'm right here.
Did you see that?
No, I heard it.
That's insane. So things have been pretty quiet, I guess not, but these walls are hollow, and we kept hearing tapping on the backs of the walls. And inside here, this is the only hollow room. This is like cement. So I don't know. Oh. What was that? Oh my god. Okay, well, now you can see there's no strings, no nothing. There's a wall of glass behind it. Oh my gosh. What was that?
My shoulder.
Oh.
As Nick steps inside, something suddenly crashes behind him. He turns the camera to show a stack of CDs scattered across the floor as if they were knocked over at once. While he films, the video begins to lag and the audio distorts, making the moment feel even more unsettling. Breathing heavily, Nick backs away as another loud noise comes from deeper in the room, and then the footage abruptly cuts out with no explanation for what happened. A father records something deeply unsettling on camera. He began filming to document a strange noise his baby monitor picks up every day around 4 p.m. The sound is hard to explain, but disturbing enough that he decided to share it. What he did not expect was to capture something far more frightening.
Alright, check this out. There's this noise coming from the bedroom. But my wife and my baby, they're not here. They're not in the bedroom. And this noise happens every day at this exact time. Yeah, there's no one in there. No one.
Out of nowhere, the closet door slowly opens on its own. clearly revealing a space inside. The father is stunned and feels this proves the noises are not simple interference, but something far more unsettling. He believes whatever opened the door is also causing the sounds picked up by the baby monitor. Regardless of the explanation, the experience deeply rattled him. He says he will continue recording, but this remains the most disturbing moment he has captured so far. Do you think it is something paranormal, or could there be another explanation? Two men were walking through a forest at night when they came across a moss-covered mound with a metal hatch on top. They opened it and climbed down, finding an underground room with a pool of water and a narrow tunnel along one side. They entered the tunnel, moving forward while crouched since it was too low to stand. The walls were damp and the space smelled old, as if it had been untouched for years. The tunnel stretched into darkness and did not end within the footage. They later tried to look it up, but found no information, leaving the purpose of the place unknown. TikTok has rapidly become a major marketplace, but a single product review raised serious concerns. At first, the video seemed normal, showing a handbag in a low-lit room. Then, viewers noticed something unsettling in the background, the sound of a child crying and calling for help. The reviewer talked about how roomy the bag was, and the seller even replied without acknowledging the strange audio. That raised questions about whether the video was posted by mistake, with no one realizing the sounds were audible. It also left people wondering what was actually going on in that dark room, since the setting felt far from reassuring. A clip surfaced, claiming there is a place on Earth where gravity does not work. After taking a closer look, it does not seem to be anti-gravity. It is more likely that the object was lifted by strong wind, especially given the high elevation of the area. What do you think is really happening here? Roy's footage starts in pure chaos, the kind that makes the stomach tighten before anything even happens. The camera shakes as he rushes into a room, slams the door shut, and locks it behind him. His breathing is heavy and panicked, like he is barely holding it together. Whatever frightened him enough to run is still out there. Slow knocking starts on the door he just locked. Each knock is spaced out and deliberate, like whoever or whatever is on the other side knows he is listening. Then, the knocking speeds up, growing louder and more aggressive, as if the door is being tested. After a pause, Roy opens the door. In front of him is another closed door. Before he can react, it suddenly swings open on its own, fast and forceful. The clip cuts there. Roy later said this was the breaking point. He is now trying to move out, convinced that whatever is there does not want him staying. This 263-year-old Colonial home, known for its eerie attic and collection of antique dolls, has been called by many one of the scariest houses in America. Over the years, the owners have recorded unexplained activity, figures moving through empty rooms, heavy footsteps in vacant halls, and voices with no clear source. Even their cat has reacted as if something unseen is moving through the house. This time, the owner returns to the attic, the same one with deep claw marks on the door that have never been explained. Take a look.
Definitely a little late with doing this because I don't want to upset the girls, but it is time to take off their little Santa hats and store them away for the year. Very, very sorry. And somehow the door is still open. And I need to grab the gift and the tree. Chain check. I feel bad. Maybe I'll put like some Valentine's decor or something up in here. And I'm actually going to put the chain over here just for ha-has to mix it up a little bit. We all heard and saw that, correct? Oh my god, I feel like I gotta get out of here. Alrighty.
That sound is clear. It is not old wood settling or a random creak. It is a door moving. Given the long history of this house, moments like this have become almost normal. Some believe spirits in places this old do not stay in one spot, moving from room to room or attaching themselves to certain areas. What happens next only reinforces that idea.
I just had one of my little manifestations come true, and I just realized it right now, and I wanted to share that with you guys. I'm not going to share what it is because it's kind of personal and a little specific, but you guys know that I'm obsessed with all things manifestation, all things journaling. If you're not journaling already, you need to be journaling as if you are already your future self. I wanted to show you guys my new journal. I always have a few going on, but do you like it? Wonder what that could mean. Stay tuned.
As she calmly talks about journaling to stay grounded, the candle hanging above her begins to swing on its own. What makes it unsettling is that this has happened many times before. It is always the same candle. There are no drafts, no open windows, and none of the others ever move. Whatever the cause, the activity in the house has not slowed down. If anything, it feels more consistent and aware, and the home continues to live up to its reputation. A nurse named Sari works overnight at an old hospital in Indonesia. Because the hospital is short on staff, she often has to check the upper floors alone. At first, the night shifts were calm, just silent walks through empty corridors. Over the past few months, though, that changed. Several staff members say they have seen a woman in white out of the corner of their eye, only for her to vanish when they look directly. One night, while Hari is doing her rounds on the 3rd floor, the mood suddenly shifts. The air feels heavy, like the temperature has dropped. She pulls out her phone and starts recording. This is what she caught. A white figure appears on camera, but when the camera pans back a moment later, it is gone. There are no cuts or edits in the footage. It simply vanishes the instant she looks away. Many of her coworkers say it matches what they have seen during night shifts, yet no one knows what it is. The question remains, what did Sari capture that night? A family was camping deep in the woods and filming a cozy moment together when something unusual was caught on camera behind their grandfather, who was dancing with his grandchild near the campfire. It was not noticed at first, but a transparent-looking shape appears drifting into the frame from the left. It then seems to stay beside the grandfather as he keeps dancing with his granddaughter. The family had no idea what it was and was understandably unsettled. It may have been something unknown moving through the woods. One evening, 2 friends explored an abandoned house and spotted a strange black shape near a shed. With the light fading, it was hard to make out, but it was standing right by the doorway. Feeling uneasy, one of them raised a knife while the other threw a spray paint can. The shape twitched but did not come any closer, so they figured it was just part of the damaged door and decided to leave, snapping a photo before they went. The next day, they came back with more friends. In clear daylight, the shed door was plainly red and white, and the black figure was nowhere to be seen. There was no sign of it at all, and to this day, they still do not know what they saw. A mother is going through her child's toys when she finds a toy camera she once bought for her daughter. What she did not realize was that it had a photo saved on it, one that still unsettles her to this day.
So I got my daughter this camera from Amazon for Christmas. She's 3, almost 4. We're just hanging out at home today by ourselves. My husband's at work. She's been telling us she's been seeing somebody in her room, that she can't really sleep well. She refuses to sleep in there. We just moved to this house. I never set the date or time on this camera because it was just like a little play camera, so she would quit taking her phones and taking pictures of herself because she's at that age right now. So we just never set the time. So she just took a picture and she says, "Mommy, look, there's a man in the photo." I said, what? She said, there's a man in my photo. And I went like that real quick. Like, this just happened just like 5 minutes ago. Like, no one else is here. It's just us. Like, I'm gonna have to change the date and time so I can get more pictures for y'all, but look at that. In this new house, she says she's been seeing people.
The image appears to capture a dark and shadowy figure inside the house. The mother believes it could be the same man her daughter says she sees, even though she has never witnessed him herself outside of this photo. That possibility makes her fear that something may be attached to her child. Whether it is truly paranormal is uncertain, but many viewers think the photo shows something not of this world. Ghost or something else? The interpretation is left open. A maintenance crew at an apartment building kept having trouble with an old elevator. For days, they heard weird noises coming from above it and figured it was probably rodents or something moving around. To figure it out, they set up a camera on top of the elevator. What they ended up recording was not an animal at all. Out of the darkness, a pale and unsettling face slowly comes into view, just long enough to be disturbing before disappearing again. Many viewers say it does not look human at all and believe whatever caused the noises was more than a simple mechanical problem. Either way, the clip is deeply unsettling and suggests some places do not feel empty, even when they appear to be. A person walking alone through an underground parking garage comes across a figure dragging itself across the floor. The scene is deeply unsettling and resembles something out of a video game, where hidden entities blend into ordinary surroundings to remain unseen. So what was it? A person in distress, a trick of the shadows, or something far more unsettling lurking in the darkness? A team went into an old orphanage that was later converted into a satanic church. They were there because urban explorers had previously recorded footage of a shadowy figure inside.
Explorers inside the building, and actually you saw a shadow figure in that video, and you sent it over to me, and I was like, no doubt that that's a shadow figure. So we definitely know that shadow figures are here roaming about, but also
From the moment they walked inside, the place felt deeply unsettling. Disturbing symbols were painted across the cracked walls, and odd objects were scattered on the floor. Then, without warning, their EMF meter spiked.
What? We are getting, for a building with absolutely zero electricity, that makes no sense.
Not long after, they captured an EVP and heard slow, heavy footsteps echoing down a dark hallway.
Oh, are you kidding me? Is there somebody following us? Can you go over and touch the REM pod again? Hey, Cam. I just heard footsteps right behind me.
When they asked for a sign from whatever was there, something happened almost immediately.
Definitely know what you're talking about. And whoever is here is totally fine talking to us as well. Talking to us as well. Talking to us as well. Talking to us as well.
Seconds later, the team experienced one of the most terrifying moments they had ever faced.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
Shaken and terrified, they fled the place, unsure of what they had actually encountered. The clip begins as a happy, normal family birthday celebration. Everyone is together, the mood is cheerful, and the birthday girl is waiting for her cake like at any other party. But the moment the lights go out and she is about to blow out the candles, something in the background suddenly makes the scene unsettling. A face briefly appears from the darkness, visible for just a second before slipping away. What makes it more unsettling is what the family shared later. They had lost one of their daughters about 11 months before this birthday. Because of that, some believe it could be her spirit appearing during a meaningful moment. Whether that is true or not is unknown, but it is a chilling detail in what was meant to be a happy memory. A homeowner managed to start recording just as a severe storm intensified. Dark clouds filled the sky, rain came down heavily, and without warning, lightning struck a large tree. The impact caused flames to burst out at the strike point, capturing the sheer power of nature in a single moment. The footage shows how nature can be both incredible and dangerous at the same time. This clip comes from an old apartment building where the elevator had been malfunctioning for days, stopping between floors and refusing to move. A technician was called to inspect it and began running test rides. Everything seemed normal at first. During one trip down, the camera captures what looks like a woman in white reflected in the frame. Even though the technician was alone, he does not react and continues filming. Whether it was a reflection, a lighting effect, or something else, it is a disturbing thing to catch during a routine check. The clip shows a person recording in a dark forest after noticing something unsettling in the distance. Unsure of what he was seeing, he asked his partner if she noticed it too. It is hard to make out anything clearly until near the end when a figure appears to stand up or move, disturbingly turning toward them. The uploader later shared a follow-up video from the same forest, claiming to capture what looked like eyes watching from the darkness.
That. What the I can't zoom in, babe. Look at that. Wait, I lost it. There it is, there it is. You see that in the middle of the camera? What the is that? Oh, nah. Oh, nah. Oh, nah.
So what was it? A trick of shadows, an animal, or something far more unsettling hiding in the woods? Ian returned to investigate Boyd House, a long-abandoned home in Minnesota that is widely rumored to be haunted. Built in 1901, the house was once occupied by a large family whose parents died decades ago, after which the home was left empty and reports of strange sounds and activity began. During his investigation, Ian brought basic paranormal equipment and began exploring the house. What started quietly escalated into intense activity. He heard loud banging from the ceiling, strange humming sounds that seemed responsive when he sat on a bed, lights swinging on their own in the kitchen, and unexplained movement of objects. While taking photos, he also captured a small, unusual face in the shadows.
Down we go, into the basement. Oh, hopefully I don't bonk my head again. Oh, it's hard to see where I'm going. Oh. Just to show you guys what I'm seeing, it is pitch black down here. Could you move one of the balloons? How about the one underneath that chair? Looks like a green one. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What was that? That sounded like a thump, like a loud thump upstairs. Hello? Is there anyone up there? Can you hear me? Down here at times. Oh. Okay, you had to have heard that, right? You heard that? Dude, that was like the same thump again. It like sounds like someone's up there, like upstairs. Oh. Dude, something just came towards me. What the heck was that? Hello? Oh my gosh. Who's there? I just heard like footsteps, like heavy footsteps coming like right towards me just now, coming from the parlor here. And what's even weirder is I felt like a cold breeze like rushing towards me. I wonder if that was the same spirit that I heard thumping around. Okay, what the heck was that now? I just heard something in here. Hello? Minnie, is that you? Are you in the kitchen right now? Minnie, if you were up here, could you? Whoa, 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 whoa! Dude, what the heck? That light just turned on! It just turned on by itself! Oh my gosh. Dude, she is in there. She's in that closet. Minnie, is that you? Are you in there? Dude, she is literally up here, wandering around, making noises. It's like what they say. I hope you don't mind me visiting. It is a lovely place. You know, I keep coming back for a reason, right? What the heck was that? That sounded like a female voice, almost. It was like really faint. Minnie, is that you? There it is again. Okay. You playing hide and seek? Show me your hiding spot. Show me where you are. Whoa. Dude. I think I just caught something. Over there, behind the camera. Let me take another one. Oh my gosh, dude, and it's gone. Like right here, right in this area. Oh my gosh. Whoa, okay. Oh my god, dude. That scared me. There was a loud dumping sound. Okay, I hear you. It's draining my camera too. I literally just put a new battery in. Look at that. It's already draining. The battery, it can really mess with you. What the? Oh my god, what was that? Dude, something just dragged on the floor. Oh. Okay. It is safe to say I'm ready to get that out of here. Oh my god. Calm down. Calm down. That sounded like a growl. And worst of all, it came from that closet that I was just in. Okay. Oh gosh. Oh, whoa, what the that? Dude, what the? Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, I'm ready to get out of here. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Oh my god. Do I dare look in that room with the cursed painting again? I don't know. Oh, what the? What the? That sounds like jiggling, like a doorknob. Who's in here? The hairs on my arm are standing on end right now. I literally heard like a jiggling sound. It sounded like a doorknob. I don't know. Is there someone behind this? There's gotta be someone. Look at that, dude. You can literally see it moving. Dude, the door is moving. Oh my god. Oh, jeez Louise. That door is shaking.
Friend, if you do not want me here, could you let me know somehow? Is there anything you can tell me about the afterlife?
Whoa, dude. Oh my god, dude. Okay, I heard a voice there and it sounded like a male voice. He just spoke. I heard prayers. Say your prayers? That's all I think what it sounded like. What is that? Is that like a TV? Is there like a TV on up here? I'm hearing like talking. Oh, dude, I'm terrified. I am actually like really freaked out. It's like a sermon. I hear like a sermon. Oh, God. Oh, God. No. No way. Dude. Okay. I feel like I'm in a freaking horror film right now.
By the end of the investigation, the amount of unexplained activity convinced him that something was present inside the house. In this clip, a man named Moiros moves into a new apartment, not expecting his first night there to be unsettling. By July 2023, he had already experienced strange noises and unusual sightings. Wanting answers, he decides to start filming to show exactly what has been happening and hopefully get advice. He turns on the camera and begins walking viewers through the apartment.
Okay, so this is my apartment, guys. So I moved here in around July, and at least I think about it was like last week I moved in. And half of it fades, but it looked like bright ghostly. I don't know what it is, but very weird. It was very weird. But then all of a sudden, it's just crazy. Oh snap! What the heck? What the heck? Hello? What the heck? Y'all see that? Man, that thing drove by itself and there's no wind drag or nothing. Look at the fan, look at that fan, the fan working. What the heck? Y'all saw that, right? This is what I'm talking about. It's doing it by itself. Nobody there. The frick is wrong with this? And to me, sometimes, I ain't gonna lie, but the air ain't on. And it usually come on. But goodness gracious, that was just weird. But this is what I'm talking about. And then 2 days ago, I decided, because I didn't get no videos from that.
As he talks about earlier encounters, the door suddenly swings open by itself. It happens right as he mentions a figure he once saw standing in the corner of his room. The moment clearly shakes him, since there is no draft and the ceiling fan is off. While the clip alone does not prove the apartment is haunted, it is unsettling. A few nights later, he tries a different approach by leaving a camera running in the hallway overnight. When he reviews the footage the next morning, he finds something that deeply unsettles him. At first glance, nothing seems out of place, but if you look closely, movement can be seen in the darkness. A small white spot appears on the left side of the frame, lingers briefly, then fades away. He later shows the footage side by side to make the change more obvious. When compared, it gives the impression that something was inside the apartment. To him, it matches the shadow, he says, kept appearing near his bedroom, making him believe he finally caught it on camera. The video did not get much attention, and he never shared any follow-ups, even 2 years later. Those 2 clips are the only posts on his account. A couple was at home when they started hearing strange sounds coming from their bedroom.
Rattling again. So I'm just gonna go and open it. Yeah, what the hell?
When he opened the hallway door, he saw a shadowy figure staring back at him. He quickly switched on the lights and checked the hallway and bathroom, but everything was empty.
What was that?
The video shows a dark, human-like figure that appears to move on its own. It is not clothing or a lighting illusion. It genuinely looks like something real standing in the shadows. Late one night, a porch camera captured something strange. In the brief clip, a faint shape appears to move steadily up the steps. Some skeptics say it is just a bug crawling across the lens, distorted by the low light. Others believe it looks more like legs and feet moving naturally, as if someone unseen was climbing the stairs. Honestly, it really does look like something walking up the steps. What do you think? A family is watching television while one person checks their phone in the dining room. No one is anywhere near the refrigerator, yet something unexpected happens. On a separate day, the family's motion-activated camera, which they say is not set off by dust, records a brief flash of light before going quiet again. Later, a larger glowing shape appears, drifts into the driver's seat, and then disappears. The family's grandmother passed away 2 years ago, and this was the vehicle she used to drive. When all the clips are taken together, along with the loss of their grandmother, it suggests she may be watching over them. Someone was driving past an eerie cemetery late at night when they spotted a strange statue shaped like a devil. It did not fit in with the surroundings at all and felt unsettlingly out of place. Then it moved. What exactly was it, and why was it out there all by itself? A young man shared this on Reddit, saying his brother was home alone while in college in Boston when he felt a presence coming from his roommate's bedroom. When he turned around, he saw the shadow of a person, quickly took a photo, and when he looked again, it was gone. The shadow's shape and how it disrupts the hallway lighting make it hard to dismiss as a simple reflection. Whether it is something paranormal or just a trick of perception, moments like this tap into a deep fear of the unknown. It feels like something was hiding in that closet. Until more details come out, all that can be done is speculate about what was really happening in that home. The photo was taken at a Halloween party in a local club. Children in costumes were sitting on the floor when a parent snapped a picture. Later, when she looked at the photo, she noticed something odd, a white figure standing in the middle of the dance floor. It appeared blurred and glowing, unlike anyone else at the party. None of the adults had worn anything like that, and no one could identify it. The children did not seem to notice anything unusual, sitting calmly around it. Whatever it was, it clearly did not belong there. The video starts with a normal psychedelic filter glowing around a girl. She turns the camera to show the room, and the filter follows for a second before disappearing. Even though the room looks empty, the filter suddenly picks up what looks like someone sitting in a chair across from her. There is clearly no one there, yet a human-shaped outline appears in black and white. When she turns the camera back to herself, that shape blends back into the colorful filter around her. Most people say these filter clips are usually just glitches, but this one feels different and way more unsettling. A homeowner had fallen asleep on his couch and was experiencing sleep paralysis. Later, he decided to review his CCTV footage and noticed something unsettling. In one clip, a misty, human-like figure appeared hovering above him, even though earlier footage showed nothing out of the ordinary. He had no pets and no clear explanation for how the figure suddenly appeared. The image matched stories from people who described feeling a heavy, unseen presence during sleep, something he had been dealing with as well. Many commenters pointed out that it closely resembles what is often called a sleep paralysis figure, except this time, it seemed to be caught on camera. That left people wondering whether these experiences are just the mind playing tricks, or if there could be something more to them. Reddit user Shadow Husky 1 shared a video after hearing an unusual sound coming from his parents' closet in a house built in the late 1950s. As he enters the bedroom, his reflection appears in a floor-length mirror, and he says someone is there. Around the 90-second mark, a strange blur moves across the camera. When he asks it to make a noise, it does.
Please make a noise.
Excuse me. As he backs away from the door, the sound of clothes hangers clashing can be heard. He then moves into the attached bathroom and repeatedly tries to turn on the light. For a brief moment, a woman's voice is heard. Whatever was there is never seen because he leaves almost immediately. What caused those sounds and the voice remains unclear, making the situation even more unsettling. This case unfolds in the early, quiet hours inside a home filled with unanswered questions. A young man, worn down after days of hearing unexplained banging throughout the house, decides to film a quick walkthrough to document what has been bothering him. As the strange noises seem to follow him from room to room, his camera ends up capturing something subtle, yet deeply unsettling.
Esto está saliendo de control, raza. No se escucha que le pegan al tanque allá afuera. Esto se está saliendo mucho de control, raza. No sé qué está pasando, la verdad, raza. Pero ese tanque le pegan. Ya es el segundo día desde que están pasando estas cosas y alguien que me pueda ayudar, déjenme en los comentarios, por favor. Gente, esto ya se salió de control, gente. Ya no puedo más aquí, gente. Ayuda. ¿Qué quieres? Déjenme en paz. ¿Qué quieres? ¿Quién eres? ¿Quién eres? ¿Qué quieres?
Despite how scared he is, the young man continues moving through his house and recording. After he posted the video, viewers noticed something he completely missed. Beneath a dark curtain, small bare feet can be seen, about the size of a child, standing still. Moments later, he pulls the curtain open and finds nothing there. He says he was alone in the house, with no visitors, no family, and no children present. He also denies using any editing or effects, explaining that he has no reason or ability to fake it. That raises the question of what the camera actually captured. A visual illusion, a lighting trick, or something far more disturbing. The clip shows people using an Ouija board in a room believed to be haunted. After asking if any spirits want to communicate, a loud bang is heard, and a paintbrush suddenly flies across the room.
Are there any spirits that would like to communicate with us?
The video sparked mixed reactions online, with some suggesting a trick and others finding it unsettling. Either way, many felt the session should have ended immediately. Posted on TikTok by Ricky Lai, the clip shows him walking through what appears to be a massage parlor. While he talks to the camera and guides viewers around, a creepy figure appears in the window behind him. He does not seem to notice it at all. The figure looks like a woman with long, dark hair wearing white. It is unclear whether she is outside the window or a reflection from inside, but either way, the moment is unsettling. Ricky Velasquez is a YouTuber who visits a small coastal town in Mexico to investigate what locals call an enigma. The location is tied to a tragic story where a woman is said to have killed her own son. A respected village elder brings Ricky to the site and prays by a wall, hoping for some kind of response. While this is happening, Ricky walks around recording and captures what sounds like a woman's voice around the 2-minute mark, possibly connected to the same woman from the story. Ricky continues filming with his ghost tracking equipment. One marker shows a human-shaped figure, while another points out a darker shape hidden in the shadows. It clearly scares him, but he avoids interrupting his guide and slowly moves toward the area. He switches on a special light and notices movement where the figure appeared. It is unclear whether it was something real or just his own hand. Overcome by fear, he panics, leaves his guide behind, and runs into the dark woods. A Reddit user shared that when her daughter, Olivia, was very young, she often talked to imaginary friends in the hallway and pretended to film YouTube videos in front of the mirror. One afternoon, when Olivia was 5, she was at home with her mother, playing with a phone and taking random pictures. Later, while looking through the photos, her mom suddenly noticed something unsettling. In one image, a faint, gray, almost transparent shape appeared in the hallway. It looked like a man's face staring directly at Olivia, even though no one else should have been in the house. It could have been a smudge on the mirror, but then why did it show up in only that single photo? That question left them wondering if something unexplained was happening in their home. This unsettling photo was taken at a young girl's birthday party. In the background, a faint image of a tall woman can be seen. Her lower body looks more defined, while her neck and head appear blurred, almost incomplete. No one at the party noticed anything strange at the time, yet the photo revealed a shadowy presence. What should have been a joyful moment was turned into a disturbing mystery. A TikTok creator who collects vintage items regularly shares his finds with his followers. He spends most weekends going to estate sales, hunting for collectibles to resell, which has grown into a profitable side hustle. Last month, he attended an estate sale at a home being emptied after the owner's death. The family was trying to clear the house quickly, selling everything at very low prices. He bought several items, including old frames and decorative pieces. Later, his family took a few photos of the haul. At first, one photo looked completely normal, but after increasing the brightness and zooming in, a strange face appears between two of the items, one he does not recognize. Whatever it is, it does not look friendly. A night security officer had a disturbing experience inside his company's offices late at night. He started hearing voices coming from the second floor, mainly from the main office. He went to check it out right away, recording everything on his phone. Once inside the office, he encountered what he later described as the most frightening moment of his job. A disturbing face appeared at the far end of the room. Every time the guard pointed his flashlight toward it, the face seemed to fade away, as if it were retreating. Some believe sightings like this are connected to tragic events from the past. Employees say that years ago, someone died under unclear circumstances inside the building, and since then, reports of strange noises, apparitions, and uneasy feelings have been common. The question is whether this moment is connected to those stories. A family in Mexico says they have been experiencing strange activity in their home. It began with unexplained knocks at the door, but no one was there when they answered. Soon after, objects inside the house started moving on their own. Since that first incident, the disturbances have continued, usually late at night, and seem to stop only after being acknowledged. As the activity became more frequent, the family decided to start recording it.
Son las... no sé si se alcance a ver... las 3 de la mañana con 1 minuto y mi hermana me acaba de levantar porque dice que se escuchan ruidos en el cuarto. Mi esposo y mi niña están dormidos. Y vamos a ir a ver qué se escucha en nuestro cuarto. No hay nadie. Solamente estamos mi hermana, mi hija, mi esposo y yo. Aquí en este cuarto está solo porque en estos últimos días nadie ha podido dormir aquí. Como podrán ver, el cuarto está totalmente solo y pues nadie duerme aquí, solo estamos nosotros. Mi hermana dice que se escuchan cosas, pero... Ay, me asusté. Amor, amor, levántate. Levántate porque allá le pegaron a la puerta. No sé qué pasó. Venimos Sara y yo. Se escuchó la puerta. Se escuchó la puerta. Mira, acabamos de venir y no estaba así. Todos los cajones están abiertos.
The bedroom cabinets are found standing wide open, as though the room had been rummaged through and then left behind. The family is convinced no person was responsible. As they keep searching the house, another incident occurs.
La niña está dormida. Estamos solos. No sabemos qué fue lo que pudo haber pasado. Mi esposo anda viendo. ¿Qué fue eso? ¿Qué es, amor?
Se movió la puerta, no sé qué va a estar aquí, nada, no hay nada. A ver, espérate.
No hay nada. No hay nada en el baño.
A sudden loud noise comes from the bathroom, with no obvious cause. Like the earlier incidents, there is no clear explanation for it. Strangely, after that, the activity stops for a while. Then, one night, it begins again.
Estamos otra vez aquí. Son las... No sé ni qué horas son, pero se están escuchando ruidos. Y estamos solas. Mi esposo anda trabajando. Mis hermanas están dormidas. Saraí, despiértate. Acompáñenme a ver allá adentro. Se están escuchando ruidos otra vez. Voy a despertar a Ani. Mi amor, levántense por favor para que me acompañen a ver allá adentro. Se están escuchando ruidos. Vamos, agarra por favor a la niña. Dios mío, estamos solas. No sé si alcanzan a escuchar. Se escucha el perro. ¿Qué horas son, hija? Son las 3:33 de la mañana. Ay, Dios. Estamos solas. Mi esposo le tocó trabajar hoy. Estamos nosotras solas. Tenemos mucho miedo. No, abrázame. Tenemos mucho miedo. Hace como 15 días que se me sienta. ¿Qué escucharon estos ruidos? No sé si es imposible. Ay. No sé si es imposible dormir. Cuando estemos solas. Ay, no, no puede ser. No puede ser, no puede ser. Cada vez se nos hace más difícil dormir. Ay, Dios. Ay, Dios. Ay, no. No sé si alcanzaron a ver, pero se movió la cortina. Acompáñenme, por favor, a ver si no es alguien. No, puede ser, no puede ser, no puede ser. ¿Hay alguien? Ay, Dios mío, no quiero salir.
The family is awakened by dragging sounds coming from that same bedroom. As they film, the curtain begins to move by itself. While a draft could explain the curtain, it does not explain the loud banging or the dogs barking nonstop. As with many similar stories, there is still no clear answer for what is happening inside the home. When they were in 6th grade, a Reddit user snapped a photo while waiting for the school bus, catching a dim light near a basketball hoop. Nothing seemed strange at first, but later, after taking a closer look, they noticed an odd shape that should not have been there. There was nothing around that could explain how a figure like that appeared. Even years later, the image still leaves them puzzled, with more questions than clear answers. A woman named Carla shared an experience she says had been building inside her home for months. The activity came in waves, not slowly. Objects fell from shelves at night, and items showed up in places she knew she had not put them. She often woke to the sound of something being dragged across the floor. At first, she dismissed it as forgetfulness or imagination, but that became impossible when objects started appearing, deliberately arranged. Shoes lined up by the door, cutlery stacked in the hallway, and a kitchen jar placed in the bathtub. That was when Carla realized it was not random anymore. Something else might be living in her home. And one night, while getting ready for bed, something happened she could not ignore.
Un hombre por ahí. Voy a ver si está por ahí otra vez. No mames. ¿Qué pedo?
Living with objects constantly moving and needing to be picked up every day is something no one should have to endure. For Carla, it became exhausting and frightening. Then she shared a detail that changed how many viewers saw the situation. Before any of this started, she admitted to using an Ouija board and believes she may have been briefly possessed during the session. When the unexplained movement, arranged objects, nightly disturbances, and this footage are connected, it feels less like a random haunting and more like something tied directly to her. A Reddit user and a group of friends went exploring a cemetery in Northern Ireland shortly before Halloween. They kept taking photos, hoping to capture something out of the ordinary. Most of the images looked normal, but a few stood out with something strange in them. It might have been another person nearby, but they believed they would have seen or noticed someone else there that night. Raul started recording while inside what seemed to be a storage unit, explaining that objects around him kept tipping over without any clear reason. The area was almost silent, but the tension was noticeable. Rows of shelves stretched behind him as he spoke steadily to the camera, though his movement showed he was struggling to stay calm.
Actividad paranormal. Según yo, ya me iba a grabar, güey. Porque mira, pero es que mira, se cayeron esas madres, ¿eh? Y luego, empezó de todos lados, güey. De todos lados empezó a caer este pedo. De todos lados, güey. ¿Sí te fijas? ¿Qué es eso? De todos lados empezó a caer este desmadre. Pues no sé qué chingo está pasando, pero... Porque mira... Ya no sé qué hacer, si mandes ahora sí al padre o a ver qué pasa, o a ver qué pasa. Ay, maldita sea. Escoba se mueve. ¿Qué hacemos? Oye. ¿Qué, vas a barrer o qué chingados, fantasma? ¿Qué vas a hacer, cabrón? Dime. ¿Qué chingados vas a hacer? Vete a la verga. Vete a la verga. Hijo de puta madre. Me cayó pinche celular, vale verga. Se madrió, ¿no? Y se abrió la pinche puerta del baño. Ni verga, güey. No hay nada. Eso fue lo que más me sacó de onda, güey, porque no sé qué chingados es. Vete a la verga. No, vete a la verga. Ya chingas tu madre, puto fantasma de mierda. Esta es la verga, güey.
About halfway through the video, something disturbing appears that Raul does not notice at first. At the far end of the shelves, a tall, dark figure briefly leans out, watching him, then quickly pulls back out of sight. Raul only realizes this later while reviewing the footage. Not long after, a sudden loud noise comes from a nearby room, stopping him mid-sentence. He slowly approaches while filming, and the door suddenly swings open on its own. When he looks inside, the room is empty. Between the hidden figure and the door opening by itself, Raul becomes convinced that something inside the storage unit was watching him the entire time, but did not want to be seen. The video centers on a disturbing chain of events. It starts when a man named Diaz notices an unusually large number of flies in his apartment, and even more around his neighbor's place. He later detects a strong rotten smell coming from that unit, which raises concern. After contacting the police, they discover the neighbor had died inside the apartment. Even more unsettling, the same thing had reportedly happened to a previous tenant there. After the discovery, strange things begin happening. The person living above the apartment starts acting erratically, screaming late at night. Soon after, Diaz claims he sees a dark figure moving inside the deceased neighbor's unit, and later spots another similar figure on a different occasion.
Dios mío. Dios mío, santo. Mami, algo le está pasando al muchacho, gorda. ¿Escuchas? Vamos a ver. Oh, no. Ay, amigo, qué triste situación. Espero que Dios te cubra, amigo mío. Espero que Dios te cubra, hermano. Que la sangre de Cristo esté contigo y que mande sus ángeles alrededor de ti para que ya no pases más días solo y triste. En el nombre de Jesús.
So, what was he really seeing? A coincidence? Stress playing tricks on him? Or something darker tied to that apartment? A man named David has been sharing his unsettling experiences, saying the activity in his house has left him confused and overwhelmed. At first, he thought everything was connected to a single object, a doll, which he described as carrying a presence that felt distressed, emotional, and in pain.
Otra vez. Son las 3:26 de la mañana. ¿Despierto? Por eso. ¿Vieron cómo se movió la cortina? ¿Vieron cómo se movió la cortina? Y no es aire, o sea, tengo ventiladores y todo. Todo está cerrado aquí.
Así no parece que me ve. Pero así sí. Y así es como me acuesto. ¿Pero quién es Daniel? Alexa, enciende la luz del baño.
Muy bien.
¿Qué? Pero no entiendo por qué aquí. No entiendo por qué en este lugar. Miren, 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 miren. Cambio de posición, ¿vieron? No me había dado cuenta. Estoy así, volteo a ver y ya me está viendo así. Vean la diferencia de cómo me estaba viendo cuando recién estaba levantándome a cómo está ahorita.
Many viewers believe the spirit linked to the doll is suffering. The voice sounds strained and desperate, repeatedly calling the name Daniel, as if reaching for someone who never came back. Some think it is asking for forgiveness, while others believe it is trapped reliving a traumatic moment. Before leaving the bathroom, the doll was facing one direction. When David returned, it was facing him directly. Soon, it became clear he was not just dealing with a doll and a voice anymore. One night, he heard noises coming from outside.
Otra vez, trabajando. Son las 12:31 de la noche. Y otra vez. Y estoy solo. Ya me cansé, en serio, ya me cansé. Ya estoy cansado. Otra vez. Y se ve la otra vez. ¿Se acuerdan? No hay nada. Me subo rápido. ¡Ay, no mames! Se me cayó el celular. ¿Lo vieron? Estaba ahí. No mames, ya no sé qué hacer. ¿Qué es esto, cabrón?
Some believe it is the same spirit tied to the doll. Others think David may have attracted something far more sinister by giving it attention for too long. After that night, the focus of the haunting changes completely.
Son las 4:16 de la mañana. Recuerden que yo me duermo con la tele encendida. ¿Escuchan, no? Es que lo tengo que enfrentar. Pendejo. Para los que me ponen en los comentarios acerca de que hago cortes en la cámara o que se ocultan en algún lado, qué sé yo, personas. Mi hermana estaba ahí porque la estábamos cuidando de algo que le pasó. No, nada. Nada. No sé. Ya déjenme en paz.
This time, David notices something different. Instead of a man, he sees what looks like a woman, which only adds to his confusion. First, there was a voice crying out the name Daniel, then a disturbing male figure, and now a woman. Many believe it is all linked to the doll, acting as a gateway for multiple entities. One night, a voice suddenly calls David's name. His cat becomes uneasy, and when knocking begins, he spots an unnatural figure outside the window. Whether it is one entity appearing in different forms, or something darker connected to the doll, everything seems tied together and the mystery remains unsolved. A woman's kids kept hearing her voice calling them from inside the house. It sounded exactly like her, but the problem was that she was not calling them at all. Following the sound and a series of knocks, the kids were led outside to the parking area. There, they noticed a car parked where it should not have been. Then they saw it, a face appearing in the backseat window. It left a chilling question behind. Was whatever was inside the car trying to lure the children by mimicking their mother's voice? Unfortunately, the story never revealed how it all ended. On July 7th, 2025, YouTuber Shadow Hollow set out alone on a night hike through a dense, remote forest. What began as routine content for his channel quickly turned into something far more unsettling. He suddenly stopped when he heard something strange coming from deep in the trees. Low, echoing sounds that didn't make sense. Then, 2 glowing eyes appeared in the darkness, fixed on him. The noises grew closer, and he decided to leave. But before he could, whatever it was burst into a run, charging straight toward him. Go. Shadow Hollow didn't stay to find out what it was. He ran, made it back to his car, and drove off. Whatever was in that forest that night was never identified, but the experience stayed with him. This footage was recorded inside an old school by a man working the night shift. After everyone leaves, he walks the halls, checks classrooms, and makes sure everything is locked. During one shift, he heard clear sounds coming from a bathroom down the hall, running water and movement, like someone was inside. He waited, expecting someone to come out, but no one did. After several minutes, he went in to check, and what he found was unsettling.
Puta madre. Ahora no lo saqué. Mi trabajo es checar que ya no haya nadie. Apagar todo y cerrar todo. Es una escuela. Una escuela de noche. En Estados Unidos, que tiene muchos años esta escuela ya. Es una escuela muy viejita.
A common explanation would be old plumbing or pressure issues, but in a building that should have been empty, it didn't feel like a malfunction. It felt more like a routine repeating itself, as if it never truly ended. Venturing into the unknown always carries a sense of thrill and danger. Camping alone in a remote area rumored to be haunted by a family of 4 requires real courage. At the start of the story, a man and his dog set out on a camping trip. Their first goal is to visit the Witch's Fire Pit, a notorious and well-known landmark in the area.
We decided we're gonna go do that night hike. Hopefully I can find and show you guys that witchy fire pit. I'll keep you guys updated. Let's see if we can find some of that Wendusi I've been hearing all about. We made it to the Witch's Fire Pit. It's an amphitheater, but it was codenamed the Witch's Fire Pit by my son. But I'm not gonna lie, it is pretty creepy up here. It took me about half an hour to get here, and it is pitch black.
In total darkness, he and his dog set out to locate the infamous pit. After a 30-minute walk, he finally reached it and discovered it was actually an amphitheater, which his son had nicknamed the Witch's Fire Pit. A short while later, he encountered 2 more hikers.
So you mind if I ask you about the ghost stories?
Sure, yeah. Yeah, so we're out here, we heard there's a report of a family that's seen shadow figures that leave from this amphitheater and walk up to the dance hall, which is just up the hill. And so it's supposed to be 4 figures, 2 parents and 2 kids that were killed by a bear.
Oh, wow.
1934, I believe, is when this was built during the Works Project administration. And so
they said they had heard rumors about people witnessing 4 shadowy figures moving from the amphitheater to the dance hall. 2 parents and their 2 children, who were reportedly killed by a grizzly bear.
And the parents had gone out for a walk at night. When they came back, they saw the bear attacking the tent where their children were. And so the parents went to try and help, and they killed the bear as well. Now, at this point, grizzly bears were supposedly extinct in this area. There were no more grizzly bears. People swore it was a grizzly bear that attacked this family. And so they looked for the bear for weeks and found no sign of it, no footprints or anything. So There's really nothing. No one knows what happened.
Oh man, terrifying.
Terrifying.
Oh man, thank you guys so much for your time.
According to the story, the family had come to the area to help with a project. One evening, as they were returning from a walk, the parents saw a huge bear attacking their children in the tent. They rushed to save them, but tragically, the bear killed both the parents and their children.
But also, I find it kind of sus that the bear mauled all 4 of them. There's no cars around except mine. How crazy would it be if those people were the ghost, right? I'm out. So, what are the chances of that? September 19th, we come down here. Turns out, it is the day that a family of 4 was up here. I'm gonna head back, get some rest. Makes this place so much more creepy. I mean, I don't want to run into them, but somehow the temperature really dropped. They say they got mauled by a bear after the fact that there was no more grizzlies up here. But also, I find it kind of sus that the bear mauled all 4 of them. There's no cars around except mine. How crazy would it be if those people were the ghost, right? I'm out. Alright, so I dozed off for a little bit. I can't really sleep. I don't know if it's the excitement, that whole haunted thing. It's almost 1. It's almost 1. I figure I can probably drive down the mountain, buy some candles so we can do a little something out there. Now, hear me out. The candles, for all intents and purposes, are not just for the creepy factor, because I feel like, you know, candles and seances and whatnot. But hear my logic out. You're supposed to see the shadows, right? Now, it is utterly and completely pitch black out here. You can't see a foot in front of you. You can't see shadows in utter darkness, right? Okay, follow me. I have lights. I have larger filming lights. They're way too bright. Honestly, if there was some kind of a shadow, it's gonna get completely washed out by light. So my logic is natural ambient lighting with candles. But logically, right? It's a soft light. It should allow us to see something.
After waking up, he decides to buy candles and set them in the middle of the amphitheater in an attempt to see the shadow figures.
So we got some tea lights. I grabbed a handful and put them in my backpack. Alright, so this is my super bright filming light. Check it out. So we're gonna walk down there. I'm probably gonna set up all of the little tea lights around the fire pit and then just post up to the side and hang out for a little bit.
He explained that the studio lights were too strong for the shadows to show. After lighting the candles in the center and waiting, nothing appeared.
I think it's just about time to go. We've been out here for a little while. I'm gonna start putting these candles out and...
He then blew out the candles and returned to his car, leaving the question unanswered. Were there 4 shadows or a grizzly bear? A Reddit user posted some creepy security camera footage from their remote mountain home, far from the nearest town. The video shows an unknown person walking through the yard late at night, clearly unprepared for the rough, dark terrain. The homeowner, who doesn't have neighbors or visitors, found it extremely unsettling. It raises the question of how the person ended up in such a remote area, and why they were there in the first place. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can stay updated with our latest videos.